Hello?
Yes, Sophie, hate to bother you. Actually, where are you? Remember when we gave you that credit card and we said use it responsibly? Well, I'm getting a whole bunch of fraud alerts. You used the credit card to go to Madrid, didn't you? Well, dubious parenting aside, how are you going to pay these charges back?
Welcome to Madrid, capital of Spain, as we visit the Humane Plaza de Toros, try the best churros con chocolate, shopping, and pay a visit to the infamous Cookie Nuts. And don't forget to help me with all these travel costs.
Hello again, hope you're all doing well, and that's our cold open segue into visitation costs, who's going to pay the gas, the tolls, parenting time supervisors, etc., which in turn is a subtopic of this edition's kind of overall topic, visitation case law from 2024 to present. And this includes both the initial determination and modifications. Before we get to today's case, a quick PSA. In the Baby Boy decision, yes, that's the case's actual name, an Illinois lawyer tried to turn his legal research over to a HAL 9000. Hopefully you're old enough to get that reference. And we are watching a reenactment on how that played out.
I use that artificial intelligence to make the damn brief. Then the appellate court starts busting my balls over it. They tell me they want to have a little chat. Something about the cases not existing or some crap. I mean, who has time to actually read the case law? What did I care? I'll just tell them to chill out and that'll be that. Because when you're a made lawyer like me, you can tell an appellate justice to take their shine box and go the heck home.
That probably happened. My point, I do my best to make sure my stuff is the best I can make it. I want you to trust what I do, but with tears in my eyes, always verify. Anyways, back to the show. Now, travel costs and visitation or visitation expenses in general, it doesn't have a lot of case law, but recently we got the Haley M decision, which addressed a very common problem. Who pays the fuel / toll costs or whatever when someone moves? In this case, under the threshold set out in our relocation statute. In Haley M, mom sort of ups and moves. I think it was like an extra 30 minutes away, and during the course of litigation where the parties were fighting over everything from school and schedule, the judge orders mom, since she was the one who moved, to reimburse dad $150 a month for the travel costs, and the appellate court, well, they were perfectly fine with this. Now, Haley M doesn't say a judge has to order it against a party who moves. It merely says the judge didn't abuse their discretion in ordering that she reimburse dad. So it's persuasive, but not binding on a trial judge. The truth is, we don't have a lot of criteria as to who should be paying for what. Even the leading case on this, Patel, doesn't provide a lot of insight. All we have is like this abuse of discretion standard that we look at, i.e., was the record devoid of reasoning or was the decision practically arbitrary? So you can use this case to argue that the moving party should eat or otherwise reimburse the travel costs, but it's not a lock. For example, if dad was, let's say, super rich like Bill Gates and mom was super poor, I suspect the judge would have been upheld if they had not allocated travel costs. Now moving on, Illinois courts, well, they can't agree on the threshold issue to modify visitation. Yes, I'm calling it visitation even though we changed the term in 2017 to trick parents into not fighting as hard as they do for it. I wish I was making that part up. Anyways, I'm gonna get some hate mail for that one. The threshold dispute is that we can't figure out, is it gonna be a substantial change in circumstances or a change in circumstances? And until the Supreme Court resolves this split, I've included a cheesy map in the guide on what your county currently requires to modify. Now, whether or not it's substantial, our next case, Garnhart, adds to the growing list of case law. It says a parent's failure to take accountability or their in-court behavior are relevant when deciding if there's been a change in circumstances. And in Garnhart, and I'm just going to stick to the four corners of the decision here, it says the mother went to war with everybody who had the temerity to disagree with her. Multiple outbursts in the courtroom and was unable to take accountability for her past conduct. As to the last two, the trial judge references those failures in denying her motion to lift various parenting restrictions that had been in place for, well, years. Now, this is admittedly a 60310 case. However, the issue turned on whether there was a change in circumstances, the same threshold issue a judge must address before modifying parenting time or decision-making under 610.5. And fair to say, the analysis is fairly interchangeable. And for our last case, because I haven't touched on the visitation factors, and we have a number of them, the court has to consider when ordering visitation, is the Nelson case out of the Fifth, and Nelson deals with a non-factor, parental alienation. Dad on appeal accused both the trial judge and appellate court of ignoring mom's parental alienation efforts. Except the Fifth District held that parental alienation is not a factor it's supposed to consider, at least in terms of what we have under the statute. Now, I ain't saying they're wrong, but the Third District did entertain alienation testimony, expert testimony, by the way, in this case that I cannot pronounce, and the First likewise considered evidence of alienation in Keeger. Yeah, I'm kind of confused on this one. It reminds me of the time that Space Arcade suddenly appeared in our house that my son plays nonstop.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Hopefully one of you grew up in the 80s. Anyways, the Fifth District does feel, and I agree with them on this, that the most important factor of all visitation factors is the willingness of a parent to facilitate and encourage a close and continuing relationship between the other parent and child. And that's from the Andrea M.R. decision. Now, the guide has all 15 parent time cases from 2024 to present. It includes some bonus material, nifty map for the proper modification standard, Aflac trivia like, well, whether getting your ass chewed by a judge means you can disqualify them, and other cool things. And as always, these guides are free, and if the guide hasn't dropped when this video goes live, just stock the Substack, it'll come. Finally, I want to thank everyone for supporting this really tiny little channel. I enjoy making these videos with my family, and I hope you enjoy watching them. However, I need to catch up on some obligations, so look for more videos and guides when I return after Labor Day weekend. Sorry about that. I think the topic will be child support. We'll see. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching.
You're here too?
Dad, give me a credit card.